Okay, let me just say this real quick. Because a lot of y'all really don't even know what the fuck you talking about and really don't even know what's going on. What you are seeing right now in America is generations and generations and generations of black suffering finally coming to a head and black frustration coming to a head. That's what you're seeing. White folks should be offended that black people even have to create slogans and raise their hands and say Black Lives Matter. You should be offended that we even have to remind you of that. Because when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying that our lives are more important than yours. We're not saying that our lives are more valuable than yours. We're simply saying that our lives matter too. We're simply saying that we deserve the same fairness, the same justice, the same equality, all of those things that you people typically receive in courtrooms and with law enforcement. We're just simply saying that we deserve the same fair treatment that the Constitution says that we're supposed to get. That's all we're saying. We're not saying anything more, anything less than that. See, what's going on right now is bigger than George Floyd. You got people out there that are legitimately protesting because of George Floyd, and then you have people out there that are legitimately protesting because they themselves have been the victim of police brutality, racial discrimination, prosecutorial misconduct. It's bigger than George Floyd. You got people out there that are legitimately taking out their frustration because they themselves have been the victim of some type of injustice with the criminal justice system and police. So all y'all people out there that says, oh, they're looting their own communities. Man, look, don't tell me shit about that being my community, but you keep your fucking mouth shut when they come over there and they racial profile me in my community. You don't say shit when they come over there and they murder us in our community. You only want to say that this our community shit when buildings are burning to the ground. Then you want to use the it's our community shit almost as if to say, well, what are they doing this for? This is so stupid of them to do that. Man, look here, man. Everything has a cause and effect. You cannot be more outraged by the looting, but then you are by the conduct by the police officer that preceded it. You cannot be more outraged by the looting than the conduct of the racist prosecutors or the racist police departments all over this country that do this shit to us day in and day out. Not just black folks, Hispanic folks too. Black and brown get the same frown. If you didn't have shit to say when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, man, shut the fuck up. If you didn't have shit to say when Darren Wilson killed Mike Brown, shut the fuck up. If you didn't have shit to say when this police officer killed George Floyd, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear from you. Your opinion doesn't mean anything, and that shit's gonna get muted out because you only want to talk that shit to black folks when it's convenient. But you sit there and you shut your punk ass up when it's time to speak, and when things happen, you turn the blind eye and you don't say shit. You only want to talk when we act a fool. You only want to talk when we burn down buildings, and that shit ain't gonna cut it no more. We are not our grandparents. We are not our grandparents, and the time for being silent is over. The time for peaceful protesting is over. Because what history has shown us, see, there was a time in this country that peaceful protesting did work. But we're talking all the way back when Martin Luther King was running around. Peaceful protesting worked at that time. White folks have seen that over and over and over and over again. That shit don't work no more. That shit don't faze them. You got to deal with white folks the same way you deal with a bully. If a bully takes your lunch money and he continuously whoops your ass every day and takes your lunch money when you at school, the only way that bully is going to leave you alone is if you beat that bully ass and he find him somebody else to play with. That's the only way that bully going to leave you alone is if you beat that bully the fuck up. And after you put a knot on his fucking head, then he going to find him somebody else to play with. Same thing with white folks. If white folks, I'm talking to racist white folks. I'm not talking to all white folks. I'm talking to racist white folks. If racist white folks knew that if they kill our children and our babies, that we gonna take one of theirs, they gonna find somebody else to play with. If them racist ass judges knew that if you give Tyrone 20 years, but Cody comes along and Cody does the same crime and Cody gets probation or 5 years or 10 years, that we gonna have a problem, that those judges will be more fair. If white folks knew that the same shit that they did to us is going to be distributed back to them, they're going to find them somebody else to play with, and I'm telling you what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Y'all niggas keep talking about black on black crime. Man, let me tell you something, man. Them niggas on y'all timeline who quick to bring up black on black crime, man, get them monkey ass niggas off y'all page, bro. Because them niggas who talk about black on black crime, let me tell you what they're doing. They're just trying to create a defense mechanism and try to create a distraction for what white folks do to us. Because the difference is this. When black folks kill black folks, we go to jail. If Pookie kills Tyrone, Pookie is going to go to jail. And not only is he going to go to jail, he's going to go to jail for life. And them white folks are going to make sure that we don't see Pookie ass no more. But when Cody kills Pookie, we have to march, beg, and sing Negro spirituals, riot, and say Black Lives Matter just to get an investigation. When Cody kills Pookie, we have to march, beg, sing Negro spirituals, riot, and say Black Lives Matter just to get an arrest. Then we have to march, beg, sing Negro spirituals, riot, and say Black Lives Matter just to get a conviction. There's levels to this shit when they kill us. There's levels to this shit. We damn near got to exercise just to get fairness, just to get an investigation. So if you are not an indigenous people and you don't understand the sufferings of black people in this country, man, shut your ass the fuck up and you don't say shit to us about looting and what the fuck we doing. You are seeing decades and generations of anger and frustration that is finally starting to boil over. Yeah, you got niggas out there that don't know what the fuck going on. They just opportunists and they just trying to get some free shit. I dig that. But you have people out there with legitimate grievances and their grievances should be heard and it should not be ignored. You got white folks out there looting too. What the fuck y'all mad at? I mean, you get some white folks that may have a biracial child or they may have a black husband, so they're out there for a legitimate purpose. But you get some white folks and some Asians, they don't even really know why the fuck they're out there. They're just opportunists taking advantage of the moment. Stop trying to tag the looting tag and label the black folks as if we the only ones out there taking shit because that's what the media is showing y'all. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. And this shit is going to continue to happen until laws have been passed that protect us, until things have changed to protect us. This shit is going to keep on fucking happening. Donald Trump ain't talking about shit. He is an escalator. And if y'all are looking at, and if y'all are waiting for him to give you some type of presidential speech, to give you guys some type of presidential, wisdom, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. This shit is going to keep fucking happening until them white folks in Congress, them white folks in your local Senate office, until they make the decision to start to make laws that protect us. That's when you're going to see change. And until then, burn, baby, burn. The show must go on.